Hello again to another little video. This time I want to show you another little tool that I wrote yesterday, or rather today. And yeah, I watched the digital tutors. Let me see how this was called. Excuse me. Something with retargeting mocap onto custom rigs. Let me see if I can find this. 1 minute. Put this over here. Yeah, so this one, retargeting mocap to custom rigs in Maya. And Delano shows there a little tool that he wrote. And yes, for this little theme here, I made my own version that works along with my current rig pipeline with my autorig system. I wanted to show you this now. So for the example, I'm going to use an example. No, it's not. Here, an example of we have here some motion capture examples from Maya. You can find them in the visor too. So what I'm going to do is import this one, Fig1. You can see here is about 300 frames in range. So now it goes ahead and makes some punches and stuff, and yeah, it's a very cool animation. Autodesk uses this animation rather often to present some of their motion capture things. So I'm going to use this too. So first thing first, we see this start not in T-pose. It's already start in a pose. So we are going to put this time range to -10, and we see here when I put in 0, he's now here because 0 is the T-pose. So what I'm going to do here is just select the root bone. Let me put out my outliner here. I need this skin. Can I hide this? Yeah, here, select the hip bone. I'm going to my rigging tools shelf and select hierarchy. So now we have all of the bones selected. And what I'm going to do now is I want to have a smooth transition between T-pose and start pose. So I'm going to select all of them. Here's my graph editor. And I'm going to now select just these frame 0 key and put this on frame -10. So now this smoothly blends between the two poses. Now the only thing that we need to take care of is that this hip bone is located so that like this. Let's see. The character starts to float. Let me see if it's because of the skin. Now, so I see that the characters, the motion capture does not really follow the floor, but I'm going to care about this now. Let's just put this up until the foots are a little bit planted. So now here's the character. Now let's import my the newest character that I'm working on right now. Okay, and so on this character I already updated the rig so that it has let me just make here that it has motion capture support on this rig, and on my tool is also now creating motion capture support groups on the rig, so I don't need to take care of that now anymore. You can see here all of the mocap groups are taking place. So now what follows next? Let me just So that's the tool. Looks like much, but it really isn't much. So what do we have here? A body area, a center, arm, and leg. So I'm going to explain this here in a second. Let me just hide the character for now. We don't need the character. And also the bones. We don't need the bones and not the control curves. Oh, yeah, we do need the control curves. Oh, no, we don't need control curves. Actually, I'm not losing track. Doesn't matter. So yeah, let's go to the. We actually need the bones. So here's the bones. Okay, and now all we need to do is to match the mocap rig a little bit more to the custom character rig. So we can do this. Here's you can use a little reference node. If we scale this down, we get a little bit more what we would like. So I'm going to scale this down until the hip bones here match, like this. And move this forward a little, like that. Okay. Then here we can now select this bone. And let me break the translate connections here, because motion capture mostly just only record rotation, so we don't need the translation here. We only need the translation here on the hip, because this is actually translating, but the other bones are all just rotated. So we can break the connections on them and freely align our bones to that. So here I'm going to leave this as is. So the bone is just like in the middle of the two of the double knee joint. These ones look okay too. Here, because you can see the hip bone here is up here, this is not going to be too much of a problem. So I'm going to leave this as it is. Then we can, this is spine, this is spine. Let me bring back the controls and see, okay. So I think we can we should match this a little bit better. Go to the side for that. Then let's do the same here. So basically this is just a little bit of the annoying part, but it's over pretty soon. So I'm just going to, oops, for doing that, should make sure this is off. But before, let me just make sure that these never translate. Now see the translate value never changes. So I can break these connections without concerns. Bring them up here. And now I'm going to use a little bit more of rotation. Here I can translate this again. So rotate to that point, translate to that point. And I can rotate this arm down. Okay, we have see here all of the rotation. I need to scrub through and see the rotate Y is the main rotation. So here I'm going to rotate the Y. And you can see here the arms are a little bit short. So I'm just going to put this here, hitting the up arrow to go to just like that, rotating one a little bit more back. Okay, and now putting the hand there, and I'm going to the right side now really quickly. I think I'm going to make a tool that can make this process a little bit easier. Oops. Like that, one here. Okay, and then the rest here. Okay, so now this is I can hide the character joints, we don't need them. So now you see that our rig is now matched to the character, and if we scrub the animation, you can see still everything works just fine. So now let's call the tool, and let's work with the tool now. So first let me reduce the amount of controls I have here. I typed this attribute here so I can hide all of the extra controls that I don't need for motion capture. And I also have the lights here. So now it's much easier. And even this cannot need. Okay, now we are ready. So first let me explain this buttons here. So body area, center, arm, and leg. Center means hip, chest, neck, and head. So basically that's the entire, all of the bones that are aligned in the center. Then obviously the other two are explained by themselves. It's clavicle, arm, forearm, wrist, and the leg joints. Then we have here mocap prefix left and prefix right. So depending on what kind of, because Maya has two different types of rigs for its motion capture examples, I added this attribute here, so you can see this bones start with L and R as a prefix. The other rig started with had the prefix of left and right just as full words. So I can, if you have another rig, I can type this here, and everything will work. So then, what is going to happen next? So I made here this little description. Choose body area, select bones from mocap rig in this order: hip, chest, neck, head. So basically just from down the hierarchy to the very top child. And that's it. Of course, arm and leg is explained in much order. So then when we know this, I can select here this hip bone, then select chest, then select neck, and then select head, and choose set as. So now we can select the controls we want to assign. These two in the same order would be in this case center of gravity, chest, neck, base, or maybe not neck, maybe this neck. We can choose between this one and then optimize the animation later. So I just choose the mid neck and then head and hit connect. Then we do the same for the arm. The nice thing about this setup is that you only need to do one side. So in this case, it is shoulder, forearm, arm, forearm, wrist. It's set as. Then we choose the controls, which is this, and then the last thing is IK wrist and IK pole vector. I hit connect. Now we do for the legs. Choose legs and go upper bone, first bone, foot bone, and the ball bone. Set as. Now we select the controls. It's basically just knee, foot, and foot roll bone. Hit connect. Now all of the sides are done. And if we now scrub through the animation, we already see our system works. Now the last thing is because if we select one of the controls with the upper to go to his motion capture group, he's constrained with parent constraint. So at this point in time, it would be cool because we could go ahead and have this rig be referenced, and we could simply just change the reference, and it would change the animation on our character mesh. But if you are done, the animation from the mocap is approved. We just hit detach and bake, which will basically just go ahead and bake the animations down to the control keys, to the motion capture group keys, and we'll delete the constraint, so that is no longer attached to the motion capture rig. You can see we now can move this rig, and nothing happens with our character rig. So if I hide this and show the character, now I can see how the character got the animation. And from here we can go ahead and fix stuff where I don't think the motion capture attach were good. For example, I'll just move here, and here the hand is way off, so it's like a 90 degrees angle. This is not possible for a human, so I would fix this here. And the good thing about this motion capture thing is that it applied the animation to our groups, and we still have entire offset control over all of the controls. So, but one more thing to do here, so I think I'm going to add this to the script later on, is that it does apply translate values to my FK controls. So I need to have this now 6 control selected. I need to break the connections on the FK. And on the elbow, of course, because it's just rotating in Y, I also need to break the connections on X and Z. So now if I run the animation, going to the point where here you can remember before the FK control was down here, but now it's up here. So now it looks better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The animation is okay. We can now go ahead and fix it a little bit. For example, you can see here when here's a special part where I think the arm penetrates a little bit. I don't know. Looks okay from here. However, but the hands, you can see, obviously still need a lot of improvement. They basically are just doing what they want. So I would go ahead and fix those hands here from here, or from the here. We can also run a simplify curve command to get rid of most of the keys here, to get more of a hand-placed animation curve type. This would change the behavior of the animation a little bit, but most of the time works pretty good, so we could use that. And then animate secondary stuff like the fingers, the face, a little bit more. If I bring back the entire control, we can do more a little bit of twist fixing, volume fixing on all the parts. Animate the toes, maybe. You can see here this toe attribute, or even here. And bring the animation to a more detailed level. Also, of course, fixing the neck, because now the entire neck motion comes from this one. And again here, because of the necks and heads are intended to be FK, I would break the connections here, so that the control doesn't do stuff like this. It doesn't look too bad when I do this, but yeah, doesn't. And then we can interpolate more between using our base neck. Also, you can see I had this auto-rotate head turned off. So because of this head being auto-rotate head attribute being off, the animation now worked on the detached head, or basically on the head with the with another object space. So when I run the animation, my head the head will offset a little bit more from the torso. So in order to fix that, we would have need to turn this attribute on before we actually run the motion capture on this rig, but it doesn't matter, we can still have this on and just fix from here. Would just be reduce a little bit of the rotate Y, X, and Z, maybe subtracted by the amount of rotation of our chest group. That should fix it. So just a little technique on that. Yeah, that's it. And if you have any questions or comments, well, leave them comments and questions. And the next video, I know it's already what it's going to be about. I'm going to talk a little bit about what types of dynamic features I do add to my character and how. So this basically is going to be about dynamic hair-driven joint chains, like she has here on the boobs. Also on end-cloth influence objects, like if you watch my rigging reel, like this fat guy, and also muscle deformer on top of skin cluster. So some pretty interesting things I'm going to show next, and I think it's going to be ready tomorrow or in 2 days. So until then, have a nice time learning. Bye.